It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
And welcome to the best show that you'll ever know. It's the Dep Lewis Show, and this is episode 49. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Sunday, September 17th, 2023. A great day to talk about some video games. So welcome to the show. Hope you've been having a great week of video games and much more. And we're here to discuss those two things on this show. So let's get down to some business to please help and support this show, this ever-growing, ever-popular, world-famous show. Please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere you can find. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, tell a friend. All those things help out a whole lot, even just a little bit. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. And then full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. So basically anywhere podcasts are available. Clips are on YouTube and TikTok. I got a bunch of those going to be coming out this week. So we're back on the clip game over here. So getting some more promotion for the podcast out there so you can get some more eyeballs and eardrums listening and seeing this thing. And then twitch.tv/DepLewisShow is a great place to follow. I might be on a schedule there at some point, and I will definitely let you know. And then patreon.com/DepLewisShow is the greatest place to follow if you can. So please go check that out, and we'll talk more about that at the end of the show. So those are all the self-promotion things. Just trying to increase the visibility and the hearability to the show, I guess. Getting people to listen to it. So that's the plan. So please, if you can help me out with that in any way, I would appreciate it. But I also just appreciate you being here today, listening to this show and what I have to say for this episode 49. So only a few episodes away from the esteemed 52, so that'll be a whole year of doing podcasts. So that's pretty cool to think about. So I keep thinking about that each time as I get closer. And you know what else? That's really about it. So we're going to kind of get into it today. Let's talk about the plan for the show. The first section would be the what I've been playing section. So what games I've been playing in the last week. I have 3 different games to talk about there this week, with one main one. The mid section this week is a whole lot of mid, so we're going to talk about what I've been seeing across the video game landscape, all the news. There's been 2 big showcases or things I want to talk about, and then some other news as well. So a lot of information in the mid section today. And then the miscellaneous talk section, the third section, is where I talk about whatever I want to outside of video games. And I think all I have for you this week is some sports. So just want you to be prepared for what's coming and get ready, and we're going to have a great show. So let's get into it. So what have I been playing? So the main game on my roster right now would be Starfield. I've been playing this on Xbox Series X through Xbox Game Pass. It came out, it's been out for 2 weeks now, so this has been, the second show I've been able to talk about this, and I've really been enjoying this game. I just want to tell you what I'm thinking about this. One of the things I saw was that it's had more concurrent players than Skyrim already, so that's pretty amazing. I think it speaks well to everything around this game, the quality, the marketing, the promotion, it being on Game Pass, and then I think they've been, getting traditional sales pretty well too. And I think they got a lot of sales with the early access thing, paying that $35. So I think they're enjoying the fruits of their labor, and I think they've made a good game, and it's been fun. So let's see. I have some notes about this game. We're gonna start out with some bad. I had my first glitch and lost some progress, so that's kind of the first time I've seen this. So it's overall been pretty impressive as a game. Technically, I would say there's been the only thing I can really point to that I've seen that's been strange has been when you talk to characters. Sometimes they're not looking at you directly, but it's really not the worst. All the graphics look good. Most of the cutscenes and animations and the frame rate's pretty decent. Like, it's impressive. Definitely just for video games in general, and then for Bethesda for having a well-running game of this expanse, I guess maybe how you'd say it. Or a game that's this expansive. It's really cool for it to be running so well. So it was kind of sad to see my first glitch, and I was on the moon, and my game just froze. I had this perk on. I think it was the wanted perk. I think it was the first time I was actually seeing this come to fruition, where the bounty hunter was coming to take me out, and he had this little thing where he spoke to me, and then I think he was going to come attack me, and then the game just froze. So I hadn't saved in a while, and it booted me back to, I don't know, I lost 20 or 30 minutes, nothing crazy. But it was a good reminder that I need to save more often in this game. That's an old habit from just playing Bethesda games. It's something you need to have, and I haven't, played a Bethesda game in a while. So, that's something I'm being more conscious of going forward in this game is saving but I haven't really seen anything else besides that. And I can't really say it was too annoying, but I did want to see how the bounty hunter thing played out, so I didn't really get to see that yet, but we will see. So I'll definitely keep you updated there. So the bounty hunter perk, the wanted perk, seems pretty cool. The trade-off is you're getting hunted, so I guess a bounty hunter can show up every once in a while, but the pro is that you deal more damage in low health situations, so that's the cool part about it. The other perk I have right now is the introvert perk, and I'd like to get rid of that because I've been traveling with companions, so I think there's a way on New Atlantis that I can get rid of a perk, but I can't obtain a new one, so that's kind of sad. I really should have picked the extrovert perk, would have been smart, because it seems like this game's going to have a lot of companions rolling around with you, and the ability to have them on your ship or, with you in the frontier or whatever it may be. So that's one little bit of a regret, but what can you do? I at least need to remove the introvert perk so I can get back to a baseline there. So that's one of my tasks to do on this game. This game has a million missions for you to do. I've been mainly pushing the main story for the most part, but you can walk around and get missions added to your list just from like hearsay and overhearing people. And if you look at your mission list, it's pretty overwhelming. There's all these different planets, all these different places you can go to. So I've just been kind of focusing on the story a little bit, and there's probably a whole entire other game I can play there with the side quest. So it really is impressive in that way, and very fun and very cool. And what else do I have to say? I've been sticking with the pistol and the shotgun. Have been my two weapons for my build here. So I'm sticking with those two. I've been using different types of shotguns because I ran out of 12 gauge shells too quickly. So now I'm using the caseless, the shotgun where I can use caseless shells. But I've really been enjoying that, and I've just been pistoling people from afar for like my traits and perks. So I built those up, ballistics, pistol, shotgun, and then I'm trying to just build my character out to make him, the more fun to play. So I've been making him have more ability to hold things. So that's the weightlifting. I've given him some more cardio so I can run more. I gave him some more health, I think, most recently. So I'm doing some things like that. And then I think I'm going to try to build out some of the persuasion and speech traits. There was one for like intimidation, and I like having those options in the conversation. So that's what I think I'm kind of building towards with my character here. So it's been fun being able to spec out your character. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it, so I think that's really interesting too, and just a great part about this game. What else? Let's see. I did some space combat last night. I got into a battle where I just had to go to space and fight some ships off. I almost died. It was very, very close, but it was fun. I had to, you really are just floating around in space shooting these guys. You have to make sure you lock onto them so you can hit them with your missiles. I find that part to be fun, and then you're trying to hit them with your laser, so it's just really fun. I've really been enjoying this game. I don't know, just my video gaming habits over here are pretty tough. I'm trying to, I don't know if I'm the best equipped just generally to be playing through games and beating them like on a quick pace, and then I'm trying to keep up with the games coming out. So I might just need to take a little bit of a chill pill with my expectations here of what I'm doing. But I'm dabbling and dibbling into Starfield. I've been thinking more recently, I should probably just kind of stick to one thing mainly, like maybe just play the Switch for the most part. Try to make some progress there, but I don't know. There's just too many games, too many great things to see, and I don't know. I need to. I've been kind of thinking more recently. I should chill out a little bit on trying the games and just kind of talk about them more in the midsection here. So I think that's kind of the direction this show is going to go, because I think that's the way I can be most useful out here in these video game streets of passing along some information. But I do want to try these things, but I need to get a little more realistic with my game plan through them. So that's just kind of what I've been thinking about. And I think Starfield's a great example of that, because it's a game I'm having a lot of fun with. There's just a lot to learn there, a lot to look into, a lot that you can spend time with, and it's just a lot of time. So that's just something to take into consideration. But I think it's a perfect game. If you need one game to play, I think it's probably one of the best ones out for this year that you can do that with, and it's really, really fun. I know Sanfi, the great legend guest of this show, he's been having a lot of fun with it too. He's upgraded his ship a whole lot. He has some different ships. I think he has 8 people riding with him, so it'll be interesting to hear some more thoughts from him at some point. And Starfield's been really fun. I don't know if I can say I do like the story. I think it's interesting enough. I like the character interactions. That stuff's pretty interesting. And just having a good time with it. So Starfield, you catch me playing some more of this for sure, and talking about it on the show. and let's see if there's anything else I have to say about this. I'm trying to tell you where I'm at in the game, so I'm just playing and hopping. I'm playing and hopping and following the main story. I just had a story where I had to go fight. I think I'm on a 2-part mission. The first part I had to go do some space combat. I think the second part I have to go do some space combat as well. So I may need to figure some things out before going into that second battle because I barely survived the first one. So, some things to learn there. But that is Starfield. Go play it. Really fun game, and I recommend it. And I'll be talking about some more on the show. All right, another game I've been playing. This is kind of getting back into. I've been liking to play this Nintendo Switch in handheld, and this is the perfect handheld game. And it's just so easy to pick up and play some of it. So that's kind of where I'm getting at with I need to maybe focus my video gaming trends towards this, but we will see. But Vampire Survivors is the game I'm talking about. I've been playing some more of this. Obviously, it's very fun. I've been moving on a little bit from Antonio Belpezzi, my OG, my original guy, my Mr. Whipman. And I moved on to Imelda. I've been trying to, run through some of the courses with Imelda. I was starting to, I think I've completed like 4 levels with Antonio. And I was trying to do some of the new ones and not having any luck. So I went with Imelda, and I was trying to beat some of the levels I've already beaten with Antonio. So I'm just trying to kind of fill out the checklist there in this game. And there's a whole lot of checklists. Every single character you unlock, it has a checklist for completing every level. There's all sorts of stuff you can do, and it really is fun to switch it around with your starting weapon. I still think you want to focus on getting that weapon evolution first, but I've been doing a whole lot better with the weapon evolutions. My last run with Imelda, I didn't even realize the 30 minutes had hit. I was just, doing so well and having so much fun, and then the 30 minutes hit, and I was like, man, that was over. I can't believe it. And that was a really great run, and I think I was 5 for 5 on my upgrades. I had 10. You get 10 slots, and all there was 5 pairings in there that all elevated to a weapon evolution or whatever. I don't think they all get evolved because I don't think you can do that, but you can evolve like 3 of them or something. I'm still trying to figure that out of how many can get fully evolved, but it was a really great run. I really felt like nobody could touch me in that one, and it was pretty nice. I do have my whole perk tree filled out at this point, minus the slots for the curses. So there's like 4 slots where you can curse yourself basically and make the bad guys tougher. But I don't know if I'm going to do that in my one of my other versions of this game on Xbox. I think I'd done all the upgrades, I'd done the curses, and I ended up just taking the curses off just so I could start completing things because that's what I was trying to do. I think it does just make it tougher, and I don't know if it was doing anything. I don't know if it was giving me any benefit for being tougher, so I don't know. I have heard there's a lot of things in this game that can change and different things that open up, and I don't know if I've really come across those yet. But I am just, kind of baseline going through the levels with the characters I like and trying to complete them. So that's been kind of my game plan for this. So Imelda has been the focus of my charactering right now, and she starts with the ice wand. So I'm trying to think I can't even think of the weapolution, the weapon evolution off top, but you can look at the grimoire, and I have looked, while I'm playing this game, I'll look online sometimes to see what the correct evolution is, but once you are successful in the game with it, it logs it in your grimoire, so you can just pull that up as you go through your run and see what you're looking towards, because that's one of the main gameplay elements in this game, I think, is looking for those evolutions and remembering which one you need and which ones you're looking out for and passing on things and waiting for them. And I think that's one of the big elements of this game, and it's pretty fun. So catch me playing some more Vampire Survivors this week, having a whole lot of fun with it. I've convinced him, the great ballness to get it on Switch, and he's been playing it, and Sanfi's even gotten it. So I've been trying to tell everyone I can, far and wide, to play the Vampire Survivors. It was the number 2 game on the Game of the Year list for Dep Lewis Show for 2022. I think this year it's going to get an honorary like 11 slot, or however many games I determine are the games of the year for the show. I think it might just get the last slot, and I will just shout it out there possibly, but you never know, maybe I'll bump it up onto the actual list. I just don't know how I feel about that quite yet, but I've been loving the Vampire Survivors. I think I'm in the 10 to 15 hour range on the Nintendo Switch version, so I've been really enjoying that, and it's been, stealing my time away from other video games, like bigger video games like Starfield, so, that is a good problem to have. So play the Vampire Survivors. All right, the next game It's something I've been very interested in since I've heard about it. I played the demo. I played a little bit on Game Pass, and it was just too much of a good Switch game and a Switch opportunity. I just finally bought the game on Switch, and I've been starting to play some of this. And it's called Sea of Stars. So I bought this on the Switch for $34.99. I've been having a whole lot of fun with this. I'm officially, I'm a past. I've gotten further than I did on the Xbox version, and I really do like playing it on the Switch. I was playing some handheld, sitting on my porch, had the headphones in, listening to the cool music in this game, and the visuals look really great on the OLED screen. It's just really, really fun. It is a retro-inspired turn-based RPG, and it's set in the same universe as the game The Messenger. So I can't remember if I ever played The Messenger or not, but that game was pretty critically acclaimed. So it's pretty interesting. They're throwing this, a new style of game into the same universe. I think that's pretty cool. There are 2 characters in this game. You pick one to start. I think they become interchangeable at some point because it's just kind of like your party, and you're generally, it seems like you're playing with both of their powers at the same time all the time. So that's Valerie and Zale. They are the children of the solstice. And then you start off meeting their friend Garl, and shout out to Garl. He's going through some tough times. There's some sharp things in the world that can hurt, and poor Garl is no rookie to those things now. He's experienced with those things now, so it's tough. So they have a cool little friendship going there. There's a nice little story in this game. The visuals look great. The combat's fun. I'm actually stuck on some combat right now, but I've looked up some tips online to progress, and I basically just need to equip some of the items I picked up. So I'm going through this area. I picked up some items, and I've never really taken a chance to look at my inventory yet. So I think equipping those things is really going to change the tides in this battle. So I just learned that last night as I was looking up some strats, some hot strats, some strategies on this game. And, I'm at I think it's like the first boss of the game, the boss slug. And I battled him twice and got him whooped both times. And I didn't really feel like I was too close to their time either. So I was really getting worried that I was doing something crazy wrong. But, I probably was a little bit, but I need to just equip these things and see how it goes. But Sea of Stars has been really fun. I think I need to play more of these style of games, and, before getting ahead of myself, I think this is a great one to start with and try out, because it seems like it's doing a lot of things I like. This is a little bit of a new genre to me, and could be a potential untapped market of excitement and video game hypeness and liking it or whatever. So that's what I'm trying for here, and I'm really enjoying playing it on the Nintendo Switch. So I've just, I've been thinking about my video game habits recently, just with, I'm getting blessed with all these great games coming out, and it really is kind of impossible for me to play them all. And I need to do a better job of playing through some things. So I need to probably just dial it back a little bit is my plan. And I think that's what I'm telling you here on this show today. So we'll just see how that goes. I'm going to try to dial it back a little bit on, forcing myself, or not forcing myself, or trying to play everything, and just kind of play whatever the heck I feel like. And then I have the midsection of this show where I can, I can research the games and look at them and watch them, and then I can come report that to you. So I think that's a great trade-off, and I'm no dummy. I'll know when there's a game I need to play and try it out. So I just need to take it easy is all I'm trying to say. So that's my plan. That's my plan I'm telling to you. So this week I've been playing Starfield, I've been playing Vampire Survivors, and I've been playing Sea of Stars. All really, really wonderful games, and I think I can highly recommend them to you. So we're going to take our first break of the show. You're going to hear some lovely music from friend of the show and friend of real life Allness. And then we're going to come back for the midsection of the show where we talk about video game news, video game stories, video game happenings, give you a look at the video game landscape of all the things that have happened in the prior week. And for this upcoming section, we have 2 shows to talk about. We have a Nintendo Direct, and we have a Sony State of Play, and then we have some other news as well. So it's going to be a really great midsection. So please get ready, get prepared, get everything you need before this music. And when the music turns off, you're going to get all the video game news that you'll ever need. So don't go anywhere, and come back in just a few for the midsection of Dep Lewis Show, episode 49. Welcome back to the midsection of the best show you'll ever know, Dep Lewis Show, episode 49. This is the midsection. This is where I talk about all the video game news of the past week that I think is interesting and want to bring to you, so that is what we're going to do. So like I said, in the first section, we have 2 showcases to talk about, the Nintendo Direct and the Sony State of Play. These both happened on the same day, September 14th last week, so that was Thursday. Both had some really great information, so we are going to start with Nintendo. So the Nintendo Direct, it took place on Thursday, 9/14/2023. It lasted around 40 minutes, and we're going to talk about all the things announced. All right, so the first thing, well, I'm not going to talk in order. This is kind of like an order I've made of things that I think are interesting. So let's go through it that way. So the first thing that was announced was F-Zero 99 was announced. And it's also available that same day exclusively to Nintendo Switch Online members. This is a Battle Royale style racing game that also supports the SNES wireless controller, but that is also exclusively available to those who hold an active Nintendo Switch Online subscription. So F-Zero 99. F-Zero is a racing game, really fun game from back in the day. I played a good bit of this on the SNES, I believe it was. I only ever played, there's been a whole lot of games in this franchise, but there was only one of them that I played, but I played a whole lot of it. And I've heard people talk about wanting an F-Zero to come back and, why it's been missing. And I hear a lot of arguments that Mario Kart's just kind of taken over it. But I really do miss F-Zero. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. It was very fun. It was, it was kind of a different style thing, very fast paced. A lot of people on the map, kind of hovering around. You're kind of gliding around and moving, zipping in and out. And this F-Zero 99 looks really cool. This is this is in the vein of Tetris 99, and they've done Pac-Man 99. And so there's 99 people on the map. You're racing till the end, and I think the caveat in this is if you bump into people or if you bump the side, you're losing damage, and if that meter goes down to zero, then you're eliminated. So you're trying to race efficiently, and then there are ways to get perks where you can go up to the sky bridge, which people are saying seems like a really new thing in racing games. So you can get a perk that makes your car levitate up to a mirror track in the sky. So you're racing by yourself on this track up above everyone, so you can get some significant progress up there. That's another cool element to this. So it looks really cool. If I was subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online, I would definitely try this out, and I've even thought about subscribing so I can try this out. I would be able to try this and then play some Splatoon again. So I might be talking myself into that on this show, since I've really been talking about how much I love the Switch. It could be a great thing to do, but there's a lot of good information in this show, so you need to get your wish list and things ready in a lot of ways for this. So F-Zero 99 is announced and out now, so go check it out if you're a Nintendo Switch Online member. Okay, the next game we're going to talk about is Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake. So this is coming to Nintendo Switch on February 16th, 2024. It's crazy to start getting some 2024 releases in here that are confirmed, so the year is moving and the video games are not stopping. This is a remake of the original game that was released back in 2004 for the GBA, the Game Boy Advance. There was some gameplay showed off and also local co-op confirmed. So this game looked a little bit puzzly, like you're trying to solve a puzzle on the screen to get to Donkey Kong, and then I guess you have to, I don't know if you're saving him or if you're battling him, but it looks pretty interesting. It reminds me a little bit of the Toad game, and just the more of a small level kind of puzzly kind of thing, but it looks interesting to me. I love both Mario and Donkey Kong, so you can see me playing this game on February 16th, 2024. So go check that out. All right, the next game that looks very interesting, and it got its official name and title is Princess Peach Showtime. And it also gets official release date of March 22nd, 2024. So Nintendo is making sure our year starts off really great next year. So this was the gameplay was revealed along with the name of this new game. It's a game focused solely on the Princess of the Mushroom Kingdom Peach, and the gameplay varies depending on which transformation Peach takes. So I think in this trailer we saw Kung Fu Peach, we saw Detective Peach, I think we saw Swordsman Peach, Swordswoman Peach, and it has a little bit of the Mario Odyssey, a little bit of the Kirby style of Peach changing her attire, and it gives her some different powers and abilities. And I'm excited to play Peach. She's always been a fun character to play in the games, the side-scrolling games where you can play her as. She always had some different abilities, and it seems like she's going to be the star of the show this time. So it should be really, really fun. And I think this one would be a definite purchase for me, more so than the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake. So this should be one of the early games I'm going to be excited to play in March. So Princess Peach Showtime. Check for it on March 22nd, 2024. All right, the next game that was announced is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door High Definition, or HD. This has been announced and getting the remastered treatment. The updated visuals, it'll have updated visuals, and this will be out sometime next year in 2024 is what they've said. So Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is a role-playing game developed by Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo for the GameCube. The Thousand Year Door is the second game in the Paper Mario series following original Paper Mario, which came out in 2000. So the dev here is Intelligent Systems. I did play some of this game back in the day. I never completed it, but it was a very fun game. The art style in this game is iconic and very beautiful and cool. And I think it's a really great option to give this the remaster treatment. And so I'm going to be checking for this next year. This game is very popular, so I think it's very cool to bringing it to the new gen and see what it can do there. So and introduce it to a whole new a whole new group of people is hopefully their plan, and a whole new group of people ready to spend some cash. All right, some more people that want to spend some cash might want to spend it on Luigi's Mansion 2 High HD. This remaster will arrive next summer as well on Nintendo Switch. So some things I'm thinking about here. There are a lot of HDs and remakes coming through here, but this is the end of the, presumably, I guess that's how you say it, is the end of the Nintendo Switch's life cycle. All rumors and indications report that are looking towards the new console coming out sometime in the second half of next year. So it makes sense for them to get some of these remakes out here to kind of pad the timeline of giving you some stuff to play, while not dropping new IPs or big time games in the midst of there when they have this new hardware and console coming out. So I think we should probably expect some more of this. And I don't know. Maybe the next time that we hear from Nintendo, we'll be getting some details on the new console possibly, or some inkling of like, hey, this Metroid Prime 4 is coming and it's coming on Switch, and then also this new console or whatever. There'll be two versions or something like that. I think we'll at some point start getting details like that next year. So this is all seeming like the appropriate way to tackle this, and it's cool. They're giving us some good games to try. So I am a fan of Luigi's Mansion. I've only played 3. I've never tried 1 or 2. 1 was a really popular game back when I was way back in the day. I remember when that game dropped, it was a huge hit, and I'd be interested to play this game. So Remaster will arrive next summer on Nintendo Switch. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. All right, the next game is the number 1 game of the Dep Lewis Show for 2022, Splatoon 3. What has been announced for this? Splatoon 3, the Side Order DLC gets a new gameplay trailer, and a spring 2024 release window has been announced. This is available as part of the game's expansion pass, but will also be sold separately. So this is that really cool DLC they showed off, in the previous direct, where it had a really cool art style. The world was real muted, and you need to color it up with all your splatting. So I don't know. I've never really got into the single player of Splatoon, and it's maybe something I should do. That game won Game of the Year for the Dep Lewis Show last year, based off the multiplayer alone. So that maybe I should give the single player a try. So that is something I will think about. And another sign, all signs pointing to me playing Nintendo Switch games, and it keeps going like that. So I did miss out on the Splatfest last week in Splatoon 3. There's been maybe 7 of those now. And last week's battle was between Shiver, Fry, or Big Man, so Splatoon characters. I want to let you know the winner was Shiver. So shout out to Shiver for winning the Splatfest. Hopefully, or possibly, I can take part in the next Splatfest coming up, so we will see. But I just wanted to keep you aware of the Splatoon 3 news out there. All right, another cool looking remake that's coming out in November is the Super Mario RPG remake. So we got a new trailer for this, and it was another trailer showing off the gameplay from this Super Nintendo classic. This game comes out November 17, 2023. This one is on my, I don't know if I have a definite buy list, and the next tier maybe be a mid buy list, and it's probably on the mid buy list. I'm really interested in it. Just kind of depends on what I'm playing around that time, and I never played the game back in the day, so I don't have that knowledge of this, but I think that could also be a beneficial thing for me playing this new, apparently, a remake should be a better version. So we will see. It could be the perfect time to introduce myself and hopefully a bunch of other people for Nintendo's sake to this great game. So go check out that new trailer. Okay, another game that comes out this year, in this calendar year, which comes out October 6, 2023, is Detective Pikachu Returns. And this direct showed off a new trailer. It was focused on how other Pokemon will aid Detective Pikachu and Tim, I guess he's the main character, on their adventure, such as Darmanitan, I don't know if I'm saying that right, or Darmanitan, who can smash rocks for the duo. So seems like you'll have some other people rolling with you in this. So I think the storyline in this is Tim Tim's dad has gone missing, and Detective Pikachu is helping him solve the mystery. So that's a pretty wild mystery for, it could be a kidnapping or something in the Detective Pikachu world. But I mean, I guess if we're assuming Detective Pikachu's a detective, not just out here, looking at some stolen fruit. He's investigating some homicides out here, some kidnapping, some extortion and bribery, some high level, maybe some white collar crimes. Detective Pikachu. I didn't realize he was getting down like that, but apparently he is. And you can try it out on October 6, 2023. So that's a game. I don't know. I need to create a list of, my hype levels. If it's a definite or a mid, and there's got to be something in between mid and like a no. And I think that would be where this game lands. Like, it's a possible maybe. So maybe it's definite, a mid, a possible, and a no are the ones I'm thinking of now. And I don't know if I'll remember those, but I think that could work. So we'll put that in the possible category. All right, the next game they showed off is WarioWare Move It, with an exclamation at the end. Don't forget the exclamation. There was a new trailer shown, and it was originally announced at the June 2023 Nintendo Direct. It was previously confirmed to have over 200 micro games. So if you're looking for macro games, don't go here. If you're looking for mini games, don't go here. You need those micro games. This game will be $49.99 on the Nintendo Switch and releases on November 11, 2023. So I can't believe how many games are coming out. Unbelievable. They're giving you a game a month almost here, it seems like. And they're really heavy hitters too. And these aren't even the indies we're talking about. There's all sorts of games that come out, and it's just insane, and it's insanely good, especially when you are doing a video game podcast. So shout out to the video games. Shout out to WarioWare Move It, which releases on November 3rd, 2023. All right, so those are all kind of the new. Oh no, that's not true. There's a lot more news here. Those are kind of all the new big Nintendo franchise stories though. So we're gonna get into some kind of other things here. Well, after this. So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's not new though, okay. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been out for 9 years or whatever it is. And has every course in the game, and that is what is finally happening. So we got the first look at the next wave and final wave, I believe, of Mario Kart 8 DLC. It comes out this holiday. It is wave 6 of the booster course pack, and it introduces a new racing track, Daisy Circuit from Mario Kart Wii, in addition to 4 new racers, Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and Peachette. So it's really cool that this is going to be officially done. They've officially added every course in Mario to the Mario Kart history to this game. They're adding new characters still, and some really, really cool characters I like. So I might finally need to drop the cash on this Mario Kart, and maybe I'll get back into some Mario Kart too, because I love some Mario Kart. I need to subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online. I need to try out F-Zero 99. I need to play some Splatoon 3. And maybe I'll run a Mario Kart race. That all sounds pretty fun, and I think there's something, if you buy the expansion, you can also get some of this stuff included. So I need to look into that as well. But I just think the case for Nintendo Switch Online is getting very, very high these days. And another good example of that with Mario Kart. So go check out that. It's officially got all the content in it coming up this holiday, so that's pretty interesting. So it'll be fun to see what they do with Mario Kart in the future, because there's a lot of talk about what they do for Mario Kart 9. Do they just turn Mario Kart into something Mario Kart Infinite and just have one version they update for forever? Or do they try to do something new with Mario Kart 9 and maybe do a smaller focus kind of thing? And I think maybe that is the route to go. But I don't know. I think, Super Smash has the same conundrum. I don't know if you call it a conundrum, because I think that it applies it as something bad, but the same opportunity that they have to, opportunity they have to take over or something. I don't know. Opportunity they have to reset. So we'll see. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, check out for the final wave of DLC coming out this holiday. All right, another remaster that gets announced is Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. The original Tomb Raider, along with Tomb Raider 2 and 3, are getting the remaster treatment for Nintendo Switch. It releases February 14th, 2024, and will have an option for players to toggle between the updated visuals and the original polygon look for some retro flair. So I'm always a big fan of when games are doing that. The first one I can really recall was Halo, the Master Chief Collection. That was really impressive with that, and then it's been done in other games as well, and possibly before then, but that's really the one I remember. Really just impressed by that. So really cool they're doing that here. And along with the updated visuals, the remasters will also include expansions and secret levels for each game, so very cool too. I don't have any history playing Tomb Raider games, at least not these originals. I think I played one of the more modern ones for a little bit, but I have not too much knowledge with these. I think this is a cool remaster if you played these games. I heard the movement style in this is not what you're going to expect if you're expecting like modern games, so maybe just take some warning there about, you're going to be playing an old-fashioned kind of game here, but, apparently a lot of people like it, and you can go check it out in February of 2024 if you'd like to. Okay, another game that is, I don't know if it's like related to Tomb Raider, but a little bit in the same kind of vein, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. So they give us another look at this game. This is a 2D action platformer, and it's slated to launch on January 18, 2024. And it's being developed by Ubisoft Montpellier. That was the developer behind the Rayman Legends game, so pretty great developer there. I do have some interest in this game. I like that it's coming out in January, so a fresh, good start for the year. I played some of the previous Prince of Persia games. I played kind of more of the 3D ones. This looks kind of more of a return to like the 2D side-scroller kind of thing. But I do love some 2D side-scrolling games, or some of those are kind of my favorite games ever. So this could be really cool to play, and then I do definitely like the Prince of Persia art style and flair, so I think it could be a pretty good combination of things. So I'm going to kind of hope this game reviews well, and I will put this one probably on my mid list. So if a definite mid, probably a no. I'm kind of liking that as we go through this. I think those are pretty decent categories to show off my hype level for a game. So we'll put that in the mid category. All right, the next game is probably a no, but I think it's very interesting and very funny, and maybe it should be but it's called Trombone Champ, and this is coming to Nintendo Switch. This is apparently a goofy rhythm game where you use a trombone, and I watched the trailer of this, and it really is funny, and you're hearing trombone music, you're playing, on the beat to some trombone music. And this game came out last year exclusively on PC, and it became an indie darling for its unconventional gameplay in its genre. So, a rhythm-based game doing trombone, tromboning, that's all we're going to say. And we also learned the Switch version of Trombone Champ will take advantage of the gyro controls, or you can use the Joy-Con's IR motion sensor to play the game, so that's pretty cool too. So just go check this out. If you like rhythm games, this might be an auto purchase for you because it's just something different. And I think I do like rhythm games, but it's just more of an untapped market for me than something that, I know I'm a fan of at this point. So I don't know, it looks cool. Maybe if it's on a sale one day, I'll cop it. But Trombone Champ, go check it out. Definitely looks interesting, and it's cool to see something different out there. So very cool. All right, the next game is something that I've been really interested in. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've just been hearing that it's cool. And so I downloaded the demo. The demo is available now, and that is for Dave the Diver. It arrives on Nintendo Switch next month. It was previously a PC exclusive, and the Switch version comes out October 26, 2023. So it's almost a year shy of its original release date of 10/27/2022. So it's been on PC for almost a whole year now. This is an adventure game developed and published by Mint Rocket. Players control Dave, a hardworking diver, as he collects fish, solves quests, and manages a sushi restaurant. It has elements of management, action, adventure, and role-playing video games. So originally I was thinking this is more of a roguelike, like something like Spelunky or something like that. And now it seems a little more like it has like Cult of the Lamb or a little bit of Animal Crossing vibes. And then possibly, something with management. Even like Overcooked. It looks like you're managing like a kitchen a little bit in this game. So it looks like, you're doing your work out there, diving around, and then you're going back to your kitchen and helping your shop, your sushi restaurant thrive. So, I've been hearing really great things about this game. A lot of people playing this on Steam Deck and really, really hyping this up this year. So it just has me interested based on the hype alone. But I think it's a tough challenge to have a game, in water being fun. I know that's kind of like an old trope of like, water levels in games aren't fun, and there's been games to do it better in modern times. So it's not like as much of a thing, but still, I think there's a hurdle to get over with, especially with older gamers of, having a game based in the water and the controlling fun. But, I think that's the whole point of this game. I think it does control really great. So I think any like apprehensions I have are probably going to be overtaken when I try this out, because I've only heard really, really like extremely positive things about this. And I'm usually a fan of these indie darlings. They usually are something I really like a whole lot. These kind of indie level games that are really, really hyped up are usually my cup of tea. So I'm gonna try out this demo. I've kind of thought about doing a Dep Lewis Shows Off video for that, so just check out for that in the future. All right, a couple more announcements from the Nintendo Direct, and we're going to wrap up this portion of the mid-section. So another game called Horizon Chase 2. I like that it's available on the Nintendo Switch that same day, so 9/14/2023. It originally released a little over a year ago on PlayStation, PC, Xbox, and mobile devices. It's $24.99 typically, but it's on sale for $19.99 right now until September 21st, 2023. And this is the classic 90s signature gameplay, keeps you in complete control of your cars at all times. Forget complex systems, you are one tick away from overtakes, forks, and nitrous. Surpass your rivals in the blink of an eye. Easy to play, but hard to master. This game demands sharp racing skills and quick reflexes to beat your opponents and cross the finish line. So go check out Horizon Chase 2, available on Switch right now. And that was the last game I want to talk about from the showcase. From the Nintendo Direct. And the last thing I want to talk about that I thought was cool they showed off is the Nintendo Gallery Museum. So this is a real-life building. Nintendo briefly shared an update on its project to convert an old plant in Kyoto into a museum celebrating its work and development history. So confirmation that this will be completed in March of 2024. So I wonder how sturdy of a confirmation that is, because you always hear that building or construction projects never go according to plan. So we will see. But Nintendo also announced that it is painting the iconic question block on the roof of the museum. So if you watch this Direct, they show you the mock-up of this, and it's really cool. And it's very interesting and looks cool, and it would be something cool to see in person if you were in Kyoto. So Nintendo Gallery Museum, March 2024. Get your trips ready. You can go check it out, apparently. All right, so that was, there's other games that were shown in this Direct as well. I highlighted all the ones that I thought were most interesting or that seemed just like the biggest ones people want to know about. But always, go watch for yourself on the Nintendo's YouTube channel. You can go watch the Nintendo Direct, and I recommend that. And then you can also go to IGN.com and check out their summary. I use that as well sometimes for putting my afterthoughts on these shows together and making sure I don't miss anything. So go check out Nintendo's YouTube channel and go check out IGN.com as well for summaries of the Nintendo Direct. So a great Direct. I always love those. Very fun to watch. I heard it was Alana Pierce mentioned that she was shocked that we basically just got an E3 in the middle of September. So pretty cool. And that's going to segue right into what we're going to talk about next. So the Sony State of Play. And I actually watched Alana Pierce talk over this. So you can go check out her YouTube channel if you'd like to and watch the replay of that as well, because I thought it's sometimes fun to watch somebody you like talk over the video. So she was saying she was late to the party as well, watching the original live stream. So she was catching up on these things, so it was just a perfect opportunity to watch it. So the Sony State of Play, it took place on Thursday, September 14th, 2023 as well. This one was around 27 minutes long, so a little bit shorter than Nintendo's. And there was a couple great things announced here, so let's get into it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gets a release date. It comes out February 29th, 2024, exclusively on PS5. And the end of the trailer revealed that Rebirth will be released on 2 separate discs. So this is the second part to the Final Fantasy VII Remake that came out on PS4. And a lot of people are going to be excited for this. This is something I would like to play at some point. And as you can see, the beginning of next year is already becoming very populated with great games to play. So this one, I think it's getting some new fans to the series because it's a new game, but this is something that, mostly everyone who's playing this game's going to do well regardless of anything. It's going to be awesome and really, really cool to follow along. So the next game they talked about in the Sony State of Play was Spider-Man 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. This game releases on almost a month away at this point. If you're listening in real time, it comes out October 20th, 2023. They show off a new gameplay trailer which highlights the many spider suits you can use. There's apparently 65 different spider suits that will be available when the game releases next month. It looked like there's a bunch of different color skews, and one thing I did notice in this trailer is the world's really colorful. They're opening the map up. It looks like the map is 2 times the size of the original game. There's a new burrow or maybe 2 different burrows added in there. And just seemed like a lot more variety in the scenery, a lot more color, a lot more variety in like building heights and areas and neighborhoods, and just looked really, really cool and impressive. And I don't know, this is a game that it comes out on the same day as Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but I would like to play this. I actually did beat the first game, which I always like to highlight because that doesn't happen often. So this should be something I possibly check out, and I know most of the world will be checking out as well. So go check out the new trailer. This isn't a game that I need to see any more content for necessarily, but it's cool that they are. You gotta show off your game before it comes out. All right, this next game was something I've never heard about, and I don't know if it's something I want to play, but the trailer was excellent, and it did drop some interest in this game from me. And even though I might not play it, I respect this demo this trailer, and that's for Baby Steps. It comes out next summer, 2024. It's apparently a walking simulator where players control Nate, who walks this world one step at a time. So I think it's like a 2-button game where you control his left and his right leg. The character's all like wobbly or ragdolly looking. And this trailer was very funny. Had some cursing in it, which was really very cool and very funny. And I think the comedy, and I think that it was hitting in this. It was just very cool. It had a great tone to it. Bennett Foddy is the developer, and he was the developer behind a game called Getting Over It as well, which I don't know anything about, but I'm sure it was interesting if this game is any indication. So next summer, 2024, look out for Baby Steps. Had a really cool trailer. This game seems like it could be very popular, like being streamed and people trying it out, and a lot of funny videos, and I think it'll be nailing that pretty well. So very cool. And that was one of the cooler surprises in this Sony State of Play for me. All right, so Resident Evil 4 Remake, which came out earlier in the year. It got announced that there's going to be some DLC out next week. Capcom confirmed that Resident Evil 4 is getting paid post-launch content in the form of Separate Ways, is what it's called, Separate Ways, which releases September 21st, 2023, so right around the corner. It's set during the events of Resident Evil 4. Players control Ada Wong, who appears a few times in the main story. Resident Evil 4's PSVR 2 mode also gets a release window and will be available as a free download. So 2 pieces of Resident Evil news there. I'm sorry if I kind of mashed them together. We're getting some DLC, some paid DLC, 9/21/2023, called Separate Ways. And then Resident Evil 4 is also getting a PSVR 2 mode added in this winter. Sometime this winter is what they say. And that'll be a free download. So if you have PSVR 2, you can play some Resident Evil 4 in your VR. All right, some more announcements from this show. The Ghostbusters has a new game coming out called Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord. This is out next month on PSVR 2, so this is a PSVR 2 game. And Dreams is developing this. This will release on October 26, 2023. So a very popular time for video gaming, but this one's just in time for Halloween. It's set in San Francisco. Players run their own ghost-busting business. Players will have the chance to play solo or team up to 3 friends as they try and stop the powerful Ghost Lord and his band of malevolent ghosts from causing chaos. So, I don't have a VR, but this, I'm a little bit of a fan of Ghostbusters, and this generally looked pretty cool, so I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, the next few bits of news from the show are generally things I'm gonna play or be interested in, most likely, but I just wanted to bring them to you because they seem like pretty decent bits of news. So the next game, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Ubisoft showed off a new story trailer, and this game releases on December 7th, 2023. So this is a game, in the Avatar world. It looks very beautiful. It looks like it's going to be playing like a Far Cry style of game. So I don't know if this will be something I play, but I think if you're an Avatar fan, this is going to look like a very competent game. And some of the flying stuff, you're flying around in the back of this like winged creature, so some of that stuff looks pretty cool. So there could be some unique stuff here, but I think this is just going to be kind of a good game if you're an Avatar fan, but that is just my take on it. All right, the next game that's like one of the biggest games in the universe that I don't really know anything about is Roblox. And this is coming to PlayStation consoles on October 10th, 2023, and will include cross-platform support. So I just wanted to highlight that since that's one of the biggest games ever. And it seems like a pretty big deal that it's coming to PlayStation. It's going to open up, it has cross-platform support. It's going to open up. I bet a lot of people have been waiting on this for a very long time. So Roblox is coming to PlayStation on October 10th. All right, another game that I can't say I'm a fan of because I think it's copying a game I really like. But hey, their games can be similar. But this next game is called Foamstars. It is the Splatoon-like shooter that's coming out for, I guess I don't know if it's coming to more consoles than PS5, but it's getting an open beta on PS5 September 29th to October 1st. Square Enix announced this beta, and this is the one where it looks like you're not a splatling, you're just like a person and you're shooting foam but the whole concept of this game looks like a Splatoon multiplayer shooter, so could be fun if they do it really well and if it controls nicely. But I think being a Splatoon fan, I'm going to look at this game like, why am I not playing Splatoon? But hey, that's an opportunity for them to overcome, a perspective, a negative perspective on their game. Maybe they'll surprise me. That's all I can say about that one. So if I put that in the rankings, that one's going to be a no for me. Sorry, Foamstars. All right, the next game, called Tales of Arise, is getting an expansion on November 9th, 2023, 2 years after the official release, and it's subtitled Beyond the Dawn. I don't know too much about Tales of Arise, but I know it's a popular franchise. So pretty cool. They're finally getting some new content after 2 years after release. All right, the next bit of news is not game related, but there are new faceplates and DualSense colors coming for PlayStation. They're calling this the Deep Earth Collection. 3 new colors include Volcanic Red, Cobalt Blue, and Sterling Silver. I gotta say, the Sterling Silver looked kind of just like the white, but maybe it was just kind of a bad shot of it, or I wasn't looking closely enough. But I was a little bit confused when they showed it off. These new colors will be available as console covers and DualSense controllers. The red and blue faceplates and DualSense controllers will arrive on November 3rd, 2023, and the silver color for both will be available on January 26, 2024. So they're spacing those out a little bit. But very cool. I do like the color on the console. I think the previous colors they have available are pink and purple. So it's nice to get some more consoles in here. I don't really know how much these are. I would like to look that up because it would be cool to have one of these colors on my consoles, but I don't have a colored controller yet either, so I don't know, just nice to be able to individualize your console in some way and change them up, so that's a very cool thing. Excuse me. Alright, and the last bit, so that was the last bit of news from that Sony State of Play that I wanted to talk about. Obviously there was some more info in the State of Play, so go watch for yourself on PlayStation's YouTube channel, or go watch on Alana Pierce's YouTube channel if you want to hear her talk over it. I think that was the way I watched it, so I just want to let you know. So Sony's State of Play, very interesting. A few things there I'm interested in, but the Nintendo Direct was hitting pretty hard for this day, so a lot of good video game information. So just a couple more things to round out this mid section here. We're talking about all the video game news of the world. There's a few more games, things I want to talk about. So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC has been released. The overarching DLC pack is $34.99 and it's titled The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero DLC. So this pack includes 2 parts. The first part called the Teal Mask, which just released on 9/13/2023. And the second part is called the Indigo Disc, which will release sometime in winter of this year. So there's a bundle on the store right now. You can buy the game and this DLC for $94.99. And it is out now. So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the Pokemon game that came out holiday last year and was, have a lot of technical issues, which I don't know if are all sorted out, but if you're a Pokemon fan that's been playing this and you want some DLC, it's available now. All right, another game that got announced is called Picross S Plus. This is going to launch sometimes in 2024. Developer Jupiter has announced a new Switch game that will contain the content from the 3DS Picross E titles, which are puzzle games. And there were 9 games in the Picross E series, all of which were released on the 3DS eShop. So I have one of these games on Nintendo Switch, but I think the 3DS is where this game really became popular. There's 9 entries in the series, and I think it's going to be cool. They're all going to be in one package. And this could be something that I get into in the future. So check out for that. Check out for Picross S Plus. That's a hard one to say for some reason. It launches sometimes in 2024. All right, the next game is on the scale of purchase. It's a definite purchase for me when it comes out. Is Hades 2, and Supergiant Games reveals the game will launch in Q2 of 2024. So at least we're getting some time frame there, and an early access release on PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store. That part's a little bit sad since I'm planning to play this on Nintendo Switch. And prior to the early access launch, players can look forward to a technical test. So this is a game that I don't need to be sold anymore on. I just need to be told when it's available to purchase, and I will do so. So Hades 2, check out, expect that in Q2 of 2024 has been announced. So that is going to wrap up all the news and all the information I have for you in the midsection this week. So let's go over what we talked about. We talked about the Nintendo Direct. We talked about F-Zero 99. Talked about Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake. We talked about Princess Peach Showtime. We talked about Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door HD. We talked about Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. We talked about Splatoon 3 Side Order DLC. We talked about Super Mario RPG Remake. We talked about Detective Pikachu Returns. We talked about WarioWare Move It, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Final Wave of DLC. We talked about Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 Remaster announced. We talked about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Trombone Champ coming to Switch, Dave the Diver, Horizon Chase 2, and the Nintendo Gallery Museum. So that's everything we talked about in the Nintendo Direct. And for the Sony State of Play, we talked about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Baby Steps, Resident Evil 4 Remake, some DLC and a PSVR 2 mode. We talked about Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, Roblox coming to PlayStation consoles, Foamstars, Tales of Arise, and the new faceplates and DualSense colors for PlayStation 5. We also talked about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. The Teal Mask DLC portion is out right now. We talked about Picross, S+, and we talked about Hades 2. So, what a wonderful midsection. What a wonderful week for video game news. Hopefully you enjoyed all that. Go check out the actual shows if you'd like to, but I think this was the best summary around you can get for all the cool information of the week. So that's what I try to do every week. And hopefully I've done so again this week. And that's going to wrap up the midsection. So we're done smoking our mid. We're going to take another break. We're going to come back for the miscellaneous talk section of the show, and we're going to talk some sports. So miscellaneous talk section should be kind of quick this week, but you don't want to miss it. So go take a quick break and come back in just a few. Welcome back to the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 49. This is the miscellaneous talk section. This is where I talk about anything I want to outside of the video game. So we're just going to get into some sports today. So the official NFL team of the Dep Lewis Show, the Carolina Panthers, they played their first game of the season last week. But the first thing I want to say is they should extend Brian Burns. They still haven't done so. He did play last week, so that was nice, and it seems like he's going to continue playing, but he's not going to have a new deal. And it doesn't sound great. They asked him a question about getting traded, and he said, hey, whatever happens, happens. I just kind of hate this. I hate this whole standoff. They need to pay him. I don't think they're going to, but you know, what can you do? Thankful for Brian Burns playing. I think that's very, very stand up on his part. But week 1 versus the Falcons, I was very excited to watch Bryce, and the Panthers ended up losing 24-10. So I'm going to have some notes here about what happened in the game. So we're going to kind of recap those together. It wasn't really the greatest showing out there, and it was a little bit disappointing, but we got a rookie quarterback, so you can't expect too much. He's going to have some bumps and bruises, and some other J.C. Horn going down is pretty bad news, and just some things like that weren't really too great after the game. But let's see. Positive note, Bryce threw his first touchdown to Hayden Hurst, which was pretty cool, and Hayden Hurst threw the ball into the crowd, but they ended up getting it back, so that was pretty funny. Bryce also threw 2 picks to the same defender, kind of on the same play. He finished with 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He was 20 for 28, 146 yards throwing, and he was sacked twice for 19 yards. He rushed 3 times for 17 yards, so it was nice to see him use his feet some. And I think Bryce is still impressive. I just don't know if what we have around him is going to be it, but who knows. Miles Sanders had 18 carries for 72 yards, and Chuba Hubbard had 9 carries for 60 yards, so they had some pretty good runs there. Nice to see Miles Sanders healthy and playing. Hayden Hurst was the leading receiver with 5 receptions for 41 yards and 1 touchdown. So that's not really going to cut it. Miles Sanders is next best at 26 yards receiving total. Then it was Terrence Marshall Jr., Mingo, Chenault, and then Thielen. So I think that's a pretty big focus. We need the receivers really to step up. They got to help out Bryce, and it's really tough that they are not one of the least performing groups right there. We really need someone to step up there, and I don't know who it's going to be quite yet. But defense, Derek Brown led with 9 tackles and a sack. Burns was second with 7 tackles. Burns had 1.5 sacks. Louver and Chin had 7 tackles too, then Shaq at 5. So the defense kind of performing as you would expect, and Derek Brown really holding it down there in the middle. So I think he gets overlooked sometimes too. He's a beast. All right, so the next game for the Panthers is Monday night. So if you're listening in real time, that game is tomorrow at Bank of America Stadium, and I am actually going to this game. So I will have a lot to report on this on the next podcast. Hope to be reporting a win. They're playing the Saints. We're going to be without J.C. Horn, and some of the receivers are questionable. I think DJ Chark, some baby Chark, is going to play, but he might be on a snap count, I think is what Frank Reich said. But I'm going to be excited to see the Panthers in person. It'll be Bryce's first home game. This will be my first seeing my first regular season game of the Panthers in the stadium. So it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be a fun time. So I can't wait for that tomorrow night. I'm planning on watching a lot of football today. Got my fantasy football team going. My fantasy football team won week 1 by the skin of our teeth, so that was nice. I'm playing the Great Sound Feed this week in fantasy, so please send all the podcast mojo to me, and not our famed guest on fee just for this week. We got to help the Dep Lewis Show out here win some fantasy, and so we got some football. So I'm going to see that game tomorrow, and I can't wait. And I'll be reporting to you next week on the results of that, and we'll talk about what's going to happen next week with the Panthers. So hopefully we'll see something good. So go Panthers. All right, the official team of the Dep Lewis Show has officially won their division. The Atlanta Braves are the champs of the NL East for the 6th time in a row. And we're going to talk about what's happened with them since last week. So, congratulations to the Braves. Always knew they could be the NL East champs this year. They should be in World Series contention is where they should be, and I would like to see them win it. So that is my hopes. So last week, they played the Pirates on Sunday. That's the game that happened after the podcast, and the Braves won this game 5-2. And then early in the week, the Braves split the doubleheader with the Phillies on Monday. On Tuesday, the Braves beat the Phillies 7-6, and then Wednesday, they beat the Phillies 4-1. So 3 wins versus 1 loss in that 4-game stand against the Phillies is exceptional, and I was very happy with that result. The Braves lost to the Marlins Friday and Saturday, though, so they turned it back a little bit on, not playing as well as they should. But the Braves, did clinch the division in there, so, it's time for a little bit of take a little bit of a breath and get ready for the postseason. I do want to shout out the Marlins jerseys. On Friday night, they had the white pinstripe jerseys with the teal hats, looking so fresh. And then Saturday night, they rock kind of their red, Miami Vice a little bit jerseys that are pretty cool too. But I think they do their jerseys pretty well there in Miami. Poor Ronald Acuna Jr., my favorite player on the planet, is banged up. He's got a little ankle something. I think he's okay, but they pulled him from the game, and he got some rest. I think they're going to maybe rest him for some games, but hopefully nothing too serious, and he can recover pretty quickly. I think it's happening at a decent time once they wrap the division up, and there's not too many games left in the season, which is kind of sad. But okay timing for Ronald to have that, but I never want to see Ronald banged up in any way. And, the MVP needs to get back ASAP. Another great happening is Matt Olson has set the Braves franchise record with 52 bombs, so 52 home runs in a season, has surpassed Andrew Jones, who had 51. So I am a little bit surprised that Andrew Jones is I know he hit a lot of bombs, but I didn't know he was our franchise leader. But pretty cool that Matt Olson has beat this record, and he has some games to go, so hopefully he can add to it is the plan. So Matt Olson, star first baseman for the Braves. Great transition from Freddie Freeman, and shout out to Matt Olson for living up to all the hype and being a great Brave. So the Braves play the Marlins again today. If you're listening in real time at 1:40, and then next week the Braves are home again. So the Braves are home against the Phillies again. So the Phillies come to town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday the Braves are in Washington at the Nationals. And then after that, all that's left is a series with the Cubs and a series with the Nats again. So a little bit bittersweet getting here to the end of the season, getting ready for that postseason play. One of the best times of the year for sports content, and I can't wait. So I want all the Braves to stay healthy until then. I want Ronald to get better, and that is my hope. So shout out to the Braves, shout out to the Panthers, and shout out to all the sports in the world for being very, very entertaining. A lot of great college football yesterday. The Colorado Buffs won in double overtime last night to keep their record immaculate with 3-0, and Prime is shocking the world again. And Shador and Travis Hunter and the defensive Sanders as well, Shiloh. They've been doing their thing out there and really, really fun to watch. So just really cool, and a lot of other good college football going on too. So that's been fun to watch as well. I'm not usually into college football too much, but it's been fun to watch. So shout out to all the sports, and just shout out to you out there as well for listening to this miscellaneous talk section. And that is going to wrap up the show today. So that's going to wrap up Dep Lewis Show episode 49. I want to thank you as always for listening. I'd like to reiterate some stuff from the beginning to help my show out. So please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. Clips are on YouTube and TikTok. Twitch.tv/Dep Lewis Show is a great place to follow. And then the best place to follow is patreon.com/Dep Lewis Show. There's a tier on there for $1 a month for the ground floor tier. It's a general support tier for the show. You also get ad-free versions, of any video that's uploaded to Patreon, so that's a nice perk as well. For the first 100 subscribers only, and the price will never change. So you have access to all Dep Lewis Show Patreon content always as part of the ground floor tier. So go now. This is an investment for your entertainment future. Just want to thank you for listening. If you can play the show once a week, if you can like something once a week, if you can comment something once a week, whenever you can, just once a month, whenever you can, just do a little bit of something to help out the show. I'd really appreciate it. And I appreciate you listening, and I appreciate you doing what you do out there. And I hope you have a great week until we talk next. Hope you play a lot of great video games. Hope you watch a lot of sports. Hope you see some comedy stuff. Hope you read a good book, and hope you have some fun. I hope you make some money. Hope you get a raise. I hope you win the lottery. Hope you get a new dog. I hope you make a new friend. I hope you eat at a new restaurant. I hope you get a new favorite food. I hope all the best things happen to you in the world. And I really hope you come back next week and listen to episode 50 of the Dep Lewis Show. So thank you so much, as always, for listening to this, and I will see you next week. This has been Dep Lewis Show, episode 49, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah.